What is happening there, citizens of the Reject Nation? We are going to watch from new Rockstars today when Kang, the exact moment when Kang killed Thanos. Yeah, we're going to react to this today. Hey, John, how are you? How are you?
How are you, sir? I want to know how you're doing before I'm doing.
Doing good. You can hear it in my voice.
You sound great.
I don't think I've got it any better.
I'm just excited to keep listening to this baritone of yours.
See, now it's just stuffy. All righty. John just shot a reaction, Dumb and Dumber. Keep a lookout for that. Oh, teasing for the future. What? You don't need to talk about my biceps, John, but you can talk about my new T-shirt. John, please. Plugging the shirt.
The shirt.
Who influences the influencers? Rorschach inspired. One of my personal faves. It's my Twitter bio. And now it's a shirt. That's what we've accomplished.
Dude, you finally succeeded.
Come full circle.
Your Twitter bio is legit.
Yeah. Screw influencers. Am I right?
Woo!
Screw them all.
All of them.
Who influences them? It's shopzeroedition.com. Go get it. Yeah. It's Real Rejects exclusive. Leave a like. All right.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss, and Quantumania will open Marvel Phase 5 with Kang the Conqueror as the vast cult of warring champions that the Avengers have to face. But given Kang's champ status, doesn't it logically follow that he must have killed Thanos at some point? Or at many points? The cast and crew are now specifically pitting Thanos versus Kang. And when you go back to rewatch Loki and Multiverse of Madness, Infinity War, Endgame, you can actually pinpoint the specific Nexus moment when Kang would have targeted the Mad Titan. And I'm going to break down
Oh, interesting.
Assassination tells us about the surprising status of the 616 universe as we know it.
You know, if they have just one line in there about, if they talk about Thanos, if Ant-Man's like gloating about how him and the Avengers, they took on Thanos, and then he just has some throwaway line about like, oh yeah, I've killed
20 Thanos.
Killed like 20 to 30 Thanos.
I have a necklace of Thanos ears back in my little chambers.
That would just make him seem so badass and be the ultimate threat. It's a quick way to communicate to the audience that he is a worse threat than Thanos.
Just do a cutaway where it's just like that episode of The Walking Dead with Glenn and Negan. Just do that.
There's a montage?
You mean
bashing his head in?
Yeah. Just cut to that.
That joke was not clear.
That joke
could have been clearer.
In an interview at Brazilian Comic-Con earlier this month, Quantumania director Peyton Reed, unprovoked, compared Kang to Thanos.
We're encountering an antagonist who's unlike anything they've ever experienced, and that includes Thanos.
And notice right at the end of that line, Peyton Reed fist bumps Kang actor Jonathan Majors. Now Majors
we killed him together
in this interview, but was later asked about his workout regimen and how physical he would be getting as Kang.
And we want to know if you're going to use any of these workouts you have to do with your body on this next movie.
All of it.
All of it?
All of it.
Like Hulk. No, I'm kidding.
Of it.
It's funny because if you read Dynasty Kang, he doesn't fight. He's not like a brawl guy.
Yeah.
Is that going to happen here?
You're going to get all of it. I get all of it.
That's cool. That's cool.
Kang's going to do backflips.
That's right.
Confirmed.
Push-ups. He's going to do one-handed push-ups with his pinkies.
Yeah, I can travel through time, but have you seen me travel through the air?
Oh! Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right, man. He's going to jump on a skateboard. It's going to be crazy.
All Kangs.
Every iteration.
You're gonna get all of it. I clearly want to be here, and I'm not just doing this so I won't get fined. I don't know. Maybe Majors just had trouble hearing the interviewers. It was really loud in that room, but he is,
or he's racist.
Has discussed in other interviews the wide range of characterizations he would get to create as Kang as the primary thing that drew him to this role. And while Peyton Reed has described this Quantumania Kang as a variant who conserves of energy, with Majors saying all of it and his fist bump with the director at the mention of him being more fearsome than Thanos, I think Majors is gonna play at least one Kang who makes Thanos say, just that for a drop of blood? Oh shit. Remember, in the Quantumania trailer footage that we've seen so far, Kang has implied he has killed countless Avengers in the past. And we know for sure
I've never seen someone read so much into a fist bump before.
I know. No, it says everything.
In which Thanos was a major antagonist, and Thanos showed up in Loki episode 2 in the multiple choice question on Miss Minute's training module. Thanos has 2 apples. He eats both but realizes he wants more. He goes back in time 20 minutes and eats the apples again. Does this mean the apples will not not have existed in the timeline he left? A, no, because time is constantly happening. B, the question doesn't matter because a branch cannot change another time
Appreciate
branch.
your dedication
Or
to the
C,
voice.
Thanos would have been hungry prior because the grandfather paradox already accounted for the change in matter before its move. When we look back at this, the TVA rank and file seem to suggest B was the correct answer, but I don't know. By the Loki season 1 finale,
I go
the
C.
true answer seems actually to be
All
all
of
of
the
the
above.
above. Look, whatever your thoughts on this, anyone who thinks that they firmly understand 100% the logic of Loki season 1 and what exactly happened in that finale,
They don't
is
even understand
fooling
it.
themselves, which is why I am actually revisiting it currently for a major project that I am working on. Announcement coming early next week. But one thing we do know for sure about this Kang variant He Remains is that he made an exception for the Avengers to use time travel. He Remains wanted the 616 Avengers to defeat Thanos using the time heist. Renslayer confirmed this to Loki in
Yeah.
episode 1.
We're not here to talk about the Avengers.
Oh no?
No, what they did was supposed to happen. You escaping was not.
Now, I have theorized before that He Remains made that exception so that Tony Stark would later unlock quantum time travel with that inverted Mobius strip in
Yes.
his basement, this being the discovery that Nathan Richards would later build on and master 1,000 years later, and that He Who Remains scripted this out so that Stark would die shortly after, so that he would have no time to dismantle that technology, or, throw it in the ocean like he likes to do with his tech.
I
In fact, the
really
more
hope
we
they
learn
confirm
about
that.
the 616 MCU, the more it starts to seem like it's less of a sacred timeline, but really an exception to the multiversal norm. 616 is like a rogue timeline. It's a variant branch that went unpruned. The normal Marvel universe is probably supposed to have mutants alongside Avengers, right? But He Who Remains
Surely,
in his
stands to
campaign
reason.
to prune all other Kang rivals during that multiversal war that he talked about in the finale, he left one 616 timeline untouched so that it would keep his own origin intact. Basically, a massive Kang tree, He Who Remains clipped all other branches so other Kang apples fell down to the ground, then only one branch remaining that left the He Who Remains apple. Too high enough off the ground so hungry Thanos couldn't eat that apple. I kind of mixed metaphors there, but I hope it made sense. But as a better example, perhaps,
Okay.
look at Universe 838 from Multiverse of
That's
Madness.
awesome.
This universe had no Tony Stark present currently, but it was still a universe where he once existed, based on those Ultron sentries walking
Yes,
around.
yes,
This is
yes.
also
Tom
a
Cruise.
universe with an Illuminati formed by Stephen Strange, who had led them to defeat Thanos in their Infinity War. How? By dreamwalking with the Darkhold. Now, we don't often discuss the past possession of the Darkhold and who handed it off to whom, something I suspect that we will learn more about in Phase 5 with titles like Agatha Coven of Chaos, but I think the 838
Yes.
Illuminati's win over Thanos was scripted for them by Kang. Kang had curated their timeline so that 838 Strange would use the Darkhold to defeat Thanos. Now, why do we think Kang was involved with this?
I mean, I thought Kang was involved with all of it.
Yeah, I thought he wrote every timeline, so just every
Yes.
timeline must have a Thanos portion.
But everyone's plot line has been scripted by Kang. Isn't that what Loki was establishing? Beyond Thanos? Couldn't you do this with every video, every character?
Yeah, it would have to be every single character.
This is like every single character, right? The
You
exact
weren't
mo-
in the script, Ant-Man. That's why he's not killed you
the
yet.
exact moment when Kang killed the Quicksilver. you
Yeah.
know? Like, I feel like you can do that with any character.
Kang
here.
killed everyone.
Am I
One.
missing something?
No, I think you're right. I don't know. He seems to be in control of everyone's fate, and if you
It's-
step out of line, they're gonna come find you. So
I'm not like dogging on your video or anything like that. Wait, what is the? I thought there was going to be something a little bit. Let's find out.
maybe he'll have an
Yeah,
answer.
still a couple months left.
Well, two major clues in this crime scene. First, the Gauntlet. That dead Thanos has acquired 4 out of 6 Infinity Stones. He's got the power, the space, reality, and the Soul Stones, but not the Mind Stone and not the Time Stone. So this Thanos must have been killed right before he would have acquired the Time Stone. Secondly, it's the way this Thanos was clearly killed. His own sword plunged into his chest. Now, we don't know which of these Illuminati delivered the death blow, but given the fact that this is a corporeal wound and not like him blasted to smithereens by Black Bolt or something, I'm going to assume that this was some kind of combo. Reed Richards slingshotting that sword using his elastic body.
Weird at it.
Why do I think that? Because Reed's elastic slingshot maneuvers are really the one physical edge he has over his opponents. It's one range attack that Thanos wouldn't have seen coming.
Hit
But more
Thanos with that
importantly,
mailbox.
This is a death blow that needed Kang's patriarchal ancestor to be in the mix. That's why I think Multiverse of Madness made sure to include that line about Reed Richards having children. Reed Richards is a distant ancestor to Nathaniel Richards, Kang. So in the 838 universe, Kang did this so that these Marvel heroes would have no need to have to invent time travel to undo Thanos' snap.
Ah, I get where you're getting at. Okay.
This is the one time travel timeline.
Yeah, you're saying our timeline
Yeah,
The
needed.
616. I call that our timeline.
That's where we live.
That's the Earth
We're
that
canonical.
we live in.
That's right.
But yeah, the main one that we follow is the only one that was allowed to have time travel. Maybe what I think Mr. Voss is alluding to, there had to be a special kind of variation, perhaps, for every way that Thanos died. Like he doesn't die the exact same way in every one of them.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah. And so this one variation had to leave the necessity for time travel, and the rest of them just had to be like, here's a nifty, way to do this so that, they can stay contained to your own little timeline.
Or people are yelling at us in the comments right now.
Why don't you get at your fake fans?
He limited these heroes to multiversal travel by dreamwalking from the Darkhold sorcery. Not technological quantum time travel that Kang would use in the future. They used magic, not science. So that Kang and only Kang
Magic is
would always
science
have that
waiting to be
technological backdoor
discovered.
to whatever sloppy incursions their magic caused. So this, right here on
Sloppy
Titan, is
magic.
the moment that Kang engineered Thanos' death. Right before the Time Stone would enter the play and snuffing out a future in-game time heist. Which makes sense because this Battle of Titan was Conqueror Thanos at his most vulnerable and likely was a nexus moment for Thanos to be assassinated in any timeline. That's why it makes sense to blame Peter Quill for punching Thanos out of his trance in Infinity War. As one moment the Avengers could have taken Thanos down before the snap happened. We're right to hate Peter Quill for that. They were
Part
so
of the
close.
story.
And of course, Peter
Written
still
in.
needed to be part of this overall dogpile because when you rewatch Infinity War, he totally provided essential distractions for other Avengers to be able to pin Thanos. But really, they were so close to ending the 616 Infinity War. All that Kang would have had to do to change the odds here would be to add someone like, I don't know, Ant-Man. Ant-Man could have snuck inside the gauntlet and wriggled it off the hand. He could have gone
Or
inside
the bum hole.
Thanos'
The
chest
bum.
cavity to give him a heart attack. He could have blown his butt out. Any number of hypothetical what-ifs here.
butt.
And for Kang to be a true conqueror, Thanos must just be a villain from an older age that merely played a part in Kang's machinations and died at a deliberate moment of Kang's choosing. For most realities,
Pawn.
that moment was definitely on Titan, except in 616, when Kang needed Thanos to get far enough for the Avengers to start putting the word quantum in front of everything.
I get it. Okay, so every timeline he's supposed to die on Titan.
Yes.
And it would have happened on our timeline. Again, ours, we own 616.
Yeah, over here.
It would have happened on our timeline if Peter Quill hadn't gone to mess things up.
Yeah, that damn Earth Dweller Quill.
That's why.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, it's all his fault.
But he was saying that he allowed that to happen, Kang, so that way Tony could create
Yeah,
this.
it's like,
Okay, right.
So-
Never mind.
so Kang wrote-
Peter needed to do that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Kang wrote
Yeah,
a weird
right.
detail where he's like, Peter's going to help distract Thanos so the
Yes,
Avengers can get the
yes.
drop, but then he's also going to break him out of the trance, so then the time travel will have to be,
Yes.
quantum
Okay,
time travel will
got
have
it.
to be
Oh,
invented.
that is a fascinating theory.
And that also saves you from the weirdness
Yes.
of the writing of Peter doing that.
No, that's actually a really cool theory.
Yes, it
now
is a
that
cool
we have
theory.
finally
Yes.
come to understand
Once
what
we've
we-
brought it down to our Earth.
Once we were finally understood what we were watching
Yes.
at the very end of the video. It is actually a really cool theory.
Yeah.
Welcome to a real reaction today, guys.
Yeah. This is a good
Subscribe
journey.
to New Rockstars. Subscribe to Real Rejects. Leave a like. Pick yourself up. Who influences the influencers? How can you call
Do it.
us influencers? Who do you think we're influencing at this moment in time?
Yeah, you to get a shirt.
Let's send this with a Chris Wamoff. Chris is known as one of the nicest guys at our Patreon page, but I'd like to think that if I was traveling the multiverse, you'd find out that only on our Earth is he a nice guy. That every other Earth, he is some kind of destroyer.
Real
Just
jerk.
a nihilistic
Real
son of a bee
dipstick.
going around ruining people's... I'm not saying he's like a violent...
Not a
monstrosity.
depraved evil
Yeah,
person.
he's
no.
not like,
Just a
killing
nuisance.
people or something. But he's just
a
very
pest.
frustrating to be around. Like
A
he's
real
the only
tedious human
talks
being.
about himself. He never asks you any
Very
questions.
self-centered.
Very dramatic. Like
Yeah.
he's very drawn to
petty.
drama. He
petty and
manages to
greedy.
turn when someone's opening up about themselves.
Kinda,
Make it about
drawl
himself.
in general.
It can be a
real mundane
very. It's just
guy,
he's
kind
annoying.
of energy
He's
vampire.
annoying.
That
And
Chris Whammo.
Fortunately, on our Earth,
Just
we
start
got
a conversation
very
with them and you're like,
I
"Oh, where is
have
this
moved
going,
on
man?"
to back to
The Earth,
Yes.
our Earth, 616. It
part
was
of-
written in the Kang script.
I was
You
listening.
can't blame
to,
me because
I was
Kang wrote it like
listening.
this.
That's part of improv. You
That's
listen
right.
and you
Kang,
react.
and then Kang wrote the John
But
listened.
I'm saying that On Our Earth, we got the good one. I forgot what
Got
I
the
was
good
saying.
one.
I got so distracted in
Got
that
the
part of
good
it.
one. This is the best
Chris,
part of the
hope
bit.
you have a happy new year, buddy.
Love you, Chris.